Judge Kasubhai, I'm looking at an order you issued as a magistrate judge here requiring the use of pronouns in your court. Do you require the use of pronouns, the declaration of one's pronouns in your court?
Senator, that may be referring to perhaps a trial management order or a scheduling order of some kind?
Yeah. No, it's a statement. You issued it. Here it is.
Oh, it's an invitation for people to identify their pronouns and or their honorifics.
Well, I'm looking at your requirement that you issued to all people in your court. You say, quote, when you introduce yourself in a meeting, you should say, my name is Judge Blank and my pronouns are blank. Is that right?
Senator, those were not requirements or rules. Those were suggestions and
They were suggestions.
Those were suggestions and invitations for people to use.
Welcome back to Hot News Today. Today we're diving into an intense Judiciary Committee exchange. Senator John Kennedy goes head-to-head with Judge Mustafa Kasubhai. Buckle up. Let's break it down.
And you also, in your directive, you say, quote, I'd like counsel to introduce themselves giving your full name and your honorific, such as Ms., MS period, Mix, or Mr., not Mrs. And if your client will be making an appearance, I ask you to please introduce them to the court by giving me their full name and their honorific, such as Ms., MS period, Mix, or Mr., end quote. Is that right?
Senator, it's not a directive. Again, it's an invitation for people to introduce themselves.
Invitation.
Senator Kennedy pulls out a courtroom order from Judge Kasubhai, requiring people to declare their pronouns. Kasubhai says it's a suggestion, not a directive. Kennedy presses harder. He reads a section about honorifics and pronouns. The judge stands by it. It's about respect and dignity. Kennedy isn't buying it. He questions if it becomes an expectation. The tone is set. It's about ideology. Then we move into deeper waters. Kennedy reads a quote from a 2021 article Judge Kasubhai wrote. We have to set aside conventional ideas of proof for equity, diversity, and inclusion. Kennedy asks, are we using a separate standard of proof for race, gender, or equity? Kasubhai clarifies it's about personal stories, not legal evidence. Kennedy counters, you said proof, not conversation. The judge points to his record, upholding legal standards. If you're finding this analysis valuable, hit that subscribe button and join the community.
I'm looking at an article from the Oregon State Bar Bulletin from May of 2021. And I want to read one of your quotes. Quote, we have to set aside conventional ideas of proof. Let me say that again. We have to set aside conventional ideas of proof, you said, when we are dealing with the personal and interpersonal work of equity, division, and inclusion. As a judge, I can appreciate the challenge of employing a different mode for understanding truth than that which most lawyers are accustomed to in our work, end quote. Did you write that?
That is a quote from that article.
So when we're dealing with equity, diversity, and inclusion, we should set aside conventional ideas of proof. Is that right?
In the larger context of interpersonal and personal relationships, the idea of being able to have a conversation with somebody.
Yeah, but you didn't talk about a conversation. You said proof.
It's in the context of having a conversation with somebody about the issue of their background and their experience.
When the issue is equity, diversity, or inclusion, we should have a different set of proof. Is that right?
When it comes to the space in which people have interpersonal relationships with one another, the idea of respecting and dignifying each other with their experiences is an important part.
Kennedy pulls quotes from Kasubhai's speeches over the years. Did you say privilege is like narcissistic personality disorder? Kasubhai doesn't deny it. Did you say white, male, straight people allow privilege to remain in place? Again, the quote stands. Kennedy references a speech where the judge says, does race matter? Hell yes. Kasubhai explains, he's speaking from an equity perspective. Kennedy circles back. If you're this ideological, how can people trust you to be neutral on the bench? In the final moments, Kennedy throws down the gauntlet. He accuses Kasubhai of being obsessed with race and sexuality. Kasubhai responds firmly, "The rule of law is an absolute for me." Kennedy ends by saying, "I just don't see how you can be a fair-minded judge." The tension is still thick in the room. What did you think of that exchange? Was Senator Kennedy right to question judicial fairness? Or is Judge Kasubhai being unfairly attacked? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives. Stay informed, stay sharp, and I'll catch you in the next one.